So I believe it's time for us to start. Hi, I will take a few short pauses during this webinar to quickly check the chat and make sure that everything is working fine, that you can see and hear me properly. So yes, hi, my name is Anastasia. I'm the onboarding specialist here at Creo, and I'm really happy to welcome you to our first webinar. I hope you'll find it helpful and that it gives you a better idea of what Creo is all about. So here's our agenda for today. We'll cover a few key points, the challenges of manual estimation, a quick intro to Creo, and then the main part, a demonstration of our AI features. After that, we will have a Q&A session, so please feel free to write your questions in the chat during the webinar, and we will answer them during the Q&A session. So here you can see the main goal for today's webinar. In a few words, is to help you understand how Creo can be used in Fluent projects. And we will cover the main challenges of manual takeoff and estimation, why AI is key to making your work more efficient, how Creo's tools and features fit the needs of the Fluent trade, and which specific tools work best for Fluent projects. So let's start with challenges and how AI addresses them. You might be thinking, like, why even bother switching to new software? Why not just keep doing everything manually like before? Well, manual estimation has been used in construction for years and has proven itself in practice, but it still comes with a few issues that automation can help overcome. So one of the biggest challenges is that manual takeoff is very time-consuming, especially with large projects. Automation doesn't just speed up one part of process, but makes every step faster, from takeoff to reporting. Eventually, AI reduced the time spent on a project by like 45–50%. I would say it's the main advantage, the main reason professionals choose AI software, because as the saying goes, the faster you finish, the more bits you win. It's also hard to work on complex projects manually, like when you have irregular floor shapes, different materials, or tricky layouts that AI can automatically recognize and adjust to different floor plans. Advanced software can easily handle like all kinds of materials and layouts and make even most complicated projects much simpler. And when you do projects manually, any changes can take a lot of time and effort because you often have to redo large parts of work. For example, changes in scope of materials mean redoing big sections of takeoff, making it hard to keep up with your project. But with automation software, you just enter the changes and the system adjusts everything. For example, you can make a few updates in your database to get a new items report, or just change a few measurement values to get an updated takeoff report, or have it automatically updated in your spreadsheet, for example. What our clients point out the most is how much time they save on each project, which means they can handle more projects in the same amount of time. They also love that everything is done and stored in one place, making it a lot easier to manage. So the main takeaways are faster project turnaround means you can take on more projects. Consistent accuracy. Automated measurements and calculations usually provide reliable results. You can handle projects of any size and complexity, make changes quickly with minimal impact on your time, and have everything done and stored in one place, from takeoffs to reporting. And I will take a quick moment to look at the chat if everything's fine. Okay, let's proceed. So let's get closer to the most interesting part, to our AI features. So today we're going to talk about 4 AI features, 4 AI tools. These are AutoMeasure, AutoMeasure 2.0, one-click area, and Find Similar with AI. Of course, these tools did not appear at once. The oldest one, AutoMeasure, was created back in 2021. It was the first breakthrough feature that kicked off the development of the AI side of our project. Throughout 2022, it went through a lot of improvements and changes, and that same year we tried to create something similar to today's one-click area called AI Suggest. I'm not sure if anyone here remembers that feature, but it's no longer available. In 2023, we launched one of our most popular tools, one-click area. And in 2024, we introduced AutoMeasure 2.0 and Find Similar with AI. Find Similar with AI is still brand new. It's not even available by default yet, and it's in beta. Overall, we launched more than 5 AI features in the last 3 years, and one of the most popular ones is one-click area, which gets over 5,000 uses a day. On average, using our AI tool saves like about 45% of time. And I wanted to add a few words about our data set. One of the key elements of our AI models is the data set. Data set is basically a collection of examples we use to teach our AI models. It's made up of objects and organized structure of elements that helps our neural network measure areas and identify specific objects. At first, for example, a bedroom on a drawing means nothing to AI. It's just a blank space. But by using the data set, we teach AI to detect that area and recognize what it is. It learns, oh, that's a room. Then it's a bedroom. And finally, the meaning of this room, what it's for. As AI sees more and more similar areas or elements, thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands, it gets better at detecting them in new drawings. By learning from this data, AI becomes more skilled at recognizing and understanding objects and spaces in new scenarios. And since we launched our product, we've been working hard to build a high-quality, large data set running countless experiments. For those of you who've been with us from the beginning, you've probably noticed how much the system has improved. Our data set grew from 10,000 to 110,000 elements for AutoMeasure. And that's not a limit. For example, AutoMeasure was trained with 110,000 elements, but for our newer AI models, AutoMeasure and AutoMeasure 2.0 and one-click area, we're using a data set with over 1 million elements. Imagine how much more these tools can detect now and how much accuracy it added. And let's switch to the most interesting part, to the demonstration. Yes, as I told you before, we're going to talk about 4 main AI tools for flooring professionals. And yes, don't forget to drop your questions in our chat so I can answer some of your questions earlier during the Q&A session. And we will start with AutoMeasure. AutoMeasure is a tool that identifies the areas and elements in your drawing and classifies them into groups in the Measurement Manager. It's a multi-phase segmentation and classification model, which means AutoMeasure quickly identifies and categorizes different areas on your plans. As I said before, it was trained on a large number of different drawings, so it processes your plan using machine learning. How it works. System receives a request. Then it identifies drawing boundaries, and the next step is to pull up the data set, process the data, and deliver the results. And it only works for residential drawings because the data set used includes residential drawings only. If the drawing isn't a residential floor plan, it might show random results. But if you find any mistake on a residential drawing, please let us know. So, how it works. Let's switch to Creo. So, how it works. It requires just a few clicks from you to run. So as you can see, we have nothing in our measurement manager. It's absolutely empty. And we click on AutoMeasure, and here we have the list of types of areas we can run for. So you can select all of them. You can select a few. For example, for the flooring trade, I believe we just need gross external and internal areas and rooms and areas. And click Launch. The process usually takes between 30 to 60 seconds, depending on the size and complexity of your project. This is the second time I run this feature in this drawing. That's why it's so fast. But usually it takes a second. So you can see all the measurements created on the drawing. And you can also see all the measurements classified and grouped in our measurement manager. So rooms and areas and gross external and internal area. You can, for example, you don't need some of these groups. Of course, you can delete them. For example, you don't need this one. You can delete it from here, as well as, for example, vents. So you can adjust the results. You can delete the whole groups. You can delete some single measurements. You can adjust the results according to your needs. And it also, I understand that it looks overwhelming right away because you see all of the results, like all the measurements created on the drawing and a lot of measurements in the measurement manager, but it's really easy to work with them separately. So you can hide a group. For example, I want to hide gross external and internal areas. I just click on the eye icon next to that group and it hides the whole group. But I believe there is a more convenient way. For example, I want to work with bathrooms only. So I double click on the eye icon next to the bathroom group, and it only selects this group. So I can work only with bathrooms now. Or the same, I double click here, and I only work with bedrooms now. So that's how you can make it more convenient. And yes, as I told you before, AutoMeasure only compatible with residential drawings. So now when you try to run this tool on a different type of drawing, the system will let you know it's not compatible by showing the notification. So it will let you know. And we will move to our next AI tool. And the next one is AutoMeasure 2.0. AutoMeasure 2.0 is an AI-powered tool designed to find the exact areas and elements you need. This one is a text condition model, which means it processes both images and text. So how it works, it's simple. First, you insert a text input, your prompt. When AI matches the text prompt with the drawing and launches dataset and then delivers the result with different levels of confidence. So all you have to do is to just type in the name of the area you're looking for or pick one from the prompts. And we're back to our app. Let's choose a different drawing for that. So here's AutoMeasure 2.0. Here you have prompts, and here's the field to put your request in. For example, let's start with, with bathroom. And before we discuss it any further, I want to show you the modes we have in AutoMeasure 2.0 and Find Similar with AI. There are 4 different modes. So Quick is a fast mode for instantly checking if the AI understood your request. Standard is the default mode, offering more accurate results. Thorough is for searching small rooms or find elements. And detailed is the slowest, but ideal for tasks that require high accuracy. I usually run standard mode because it's something that we usually use like as a default. Yeah, I created measurement. I'm so sorry. Let's run it one more time because I created them before bathroom. Yes, it was standard by default. And it's important when you run like all AI tools, but there's also, you should check for accuracy, of course. If the tool missed any areas or included any additional areas, if the boundaries of the measurement of the polygon are not correct. So this time it found everything pretty perfectly, as I see. We can try another request. Let's say, I don't know, balcony. Everything looks fine here too, but there is one really important thing I want to tell you about. It's the AI confidence. AI confidence is something like a percentage of similarity between the area or element on the drawing and those in the data set. For example, if this balcony, is this balcony 100% similar to the thousands of balconies the AI has been trained on, or is the similarity only 50%? If an area like kitchen has no similar elements in the data set, it might not appear in results at all. And I'm going to show you how it works. So we have AI confidence slider here, and we can just toggle it back and forth to make the confidence lower or higher. So for example, if I make it lower, it reevaluates. Just a moment. It did not add anything else. But if, for example, if I put it really high, you can see that a couple of my balconies were removed from the search. That means the AI thinks that they're not like 79% similar to the balconies that it was trained on. So it's not so sure about them. So when I like put it to 100, it's not sure about anything almost, but yes, usually 60-70% works perfectly. 63, I have all the balconies here. I can check, for example, here I can see that the measurement is not perfect, and that's the second way how you can adjust your results. So the first way is by toggling AI confidence, but it's mostly about like including or excluding more or less similar areas. Here, it's you can like if the shape is not accurate or something, you can click on it and click Fix with AI. And now it's more accurate. You can see here I can delete it, so you can delete single polygons, but I'm satisfied now, pretty much. Then I click Yes. Now it's saved with new, like it was updated. Yes, you can run pretty much everything here. This tool works for all types of drawing, not only for residential ones, and you can put in any words. The other popular one is space here, so it searches for all the spaces. But I want to point out that unlike AutoMeasure, it does not name any like. It does not classify nor name any measurements. So they all are just polygons. They're not classified. They're all just spaces. As you can see, it found it missed one balcony, but it's not a problem. I will wait and toggle the slider. So if you can see it missed one balcony here, not a problem. I just lower my confidence. Now it's included. Now we have all the spaces measured, and I can just create this measurement. But one more thing I wanted to point out is this rate. When working with tools like AutoMeasure 2.0 and Find Similar with AI, would really appreciate if you could rate the results, because it impacts how AI will work next time on drawing. So AI may train that a little bit. So you can just, for example, I was pretty much satisfied with this search. I can put 4 and write my comment here, like something was, for example, missing, or it captured some random areas. You can put everything you think about it here. And yes, that was it for AutoMeasure 2.0, I think. Let's switch to our next tool. Next one is One-Click Area. One-Click Area is a tool that can instantly measure any areas or objects on drawings with just a single click. It works like Segment Anything Model, SAM, meaning it understands areas in a broad sense. It just looks for the area where you click. In this case, the only input is your click. So how it works? You just place your first point, and the AI starts analyzing the surrounding area. Then the AI delivers the initial polygon, but it's not always exactly what we're looking for. So you can add extra points, positive or negative, to adjust the results. Honestly, I would say that it's the most versatile tool because you can use it on almost anything, from your drawings to a photo of your dog. I don't know. So let's see how it works. Let's switch back to a different drawing. So some areas are pretty simple for this tool. For example, we have this pretty perfect double bedroom here. And we select the tool here and put a point. And yes, as I thought, it did it from the first click. It identified the area, and I can create this measurement. Another type of rooms of elements can be more like complex. For example, in this room, I'm pretty sure it made a mistake. I did not want to include store, but it's okay. The tool has all the rights to do that because I did not specify. So what do we do in this case? We have positive and negative points here. So when we want to capture larger areas, we want to add some area to the polygon we already have, we put a positive point outside of the polygon. If we want to exclude some area, we put a negative point inside of the area you want to exclude. So for example, if I put my point here in store, it's going to be negative because I put it inside of the initial polygon and it excluded it. Now I have the bedroom I was looking for, and now I can create it. I can try with more like complex shapes and try, for example, the hallway. It's also important, you can put several points before the initial polygon appears. So for example, if you need to capture a larger area, or if the shape of the area you want to capture is pretty complex, you can put several points. For example, I put one here and one here. So it understands I want to capture the whole. Yeah, yes, maybe I don't want these rooms. Yes, now it excluded all these rooms. And that's what I was looking for. That's the hallway I wanted to measure. And I just can create it. It also works for smaller areas. So you can measure larger areas, you can measure smaller areas. For example, I love tile. I don't know, for some reason I love working with tile. And for example, here, we don't usually put tile under the bathtub, right? So we want to only measure tiled area. I put the first point here, and of course, it measures the whole room. We already have this color. So now I put a negative point on the bathroom, and now I only have tiled area measured. And I can do the same thing here again. And this one. Yes, we have only tiled area. That's how it works for small areas, for large areas, for any type of drawing, images, anything. So it's pretty universal and versatile. So it's the great one. And back to our presentation. The last but not least is find similar with the eye. Find similar with the eye is the feature that identifies similar areas on your drawing based on a specified user-created measurement. It's a polygon condition detection model, meaning that you give it a reference polygon and the model tries to find similar ones. So both the input and the output are polygons. But it doesn't just search based on the size or shape. No, find similar with the eye considers a mix of characteristics, which makes the search broader and more advanced. To use this feature, you need to have a reference polygon, and that's what we're going to do. I will take a different drawing, because on this drawing we have different floor finishes. So we have hardwood, carpet, concrete. So I just wanted to show you that find similar with the eye is not only about like the shape or size or elements, it's about like pretty much everything. So it considers all the aspects of the polygon we're looking for. So for example, let's start with hardwood. I want to show you a couple of ways you can run find similar with the eye. So let's make a polygon here, kitchen, living, dining. We created a good polygon. And you can run find similar with AI here. So when you click create, it runs automatically as well. We have the same 4 modes here: quick for just quick search if the AI understood your request, and I would use standard because that's the standard mode, that's the default. It takes a moment. And now I want to point out that first, this tool is still in beta, so the results may vary, but As you can see, it found all the other rooms, kitchen, living, dining, as we needed, but included also these two rooms. It makes sense because it can be considered as the room for living or something like that. So it's at some point it is correct, but we need to adjust the result. I don't want these double bedrooms to be included. So I go to my AI confidence. That's the adjustment you are going to use a lot with this tool, I believe, because I needed to toggle it to a different direction. So now at 69, it excluded the areas that are not that similar to my polygon. So now I only have kitchen, living, dining here. Everything is measured pretty well. So I can just create, and yes, I can rate the results. That was good, but I will not leave any comments, of course, not this time. I will just create it. The more difficult task for this tool is going to be differentiating between double bedroom and master bedroom, but I believe it will be able to do it as well. So I created polygon here, different color. Sorry, let's look at this. And the other way to run this tool is to click on the polygon you created, and in the fly menu, click on magnifier icon. It runs the tool. I want standard. It included a lot of things here. And as I said before, it's not drawn. They are similar in some way, but I want them to be like absolutely similar. So I toggle my confidence slider, and it excludes everything I don't need, right? Yes, at like 97%, it filtered everything else, and we only have this two double bedrooms with a different flooring, with a different carpet. So yes, with adjusting AI confidence for this tool, you can reach, I hope you can reach the result you're looking for, and you can measure in even smaller areas with it. Let's put create and go back to my favorite tile. And also one thing, some areas, some rooms are not that easy. Oh, sorry, I did not create the measurement. I'm so sorry. And another one here. So sometimes one polygon is not enough for this tool for Find Similar with AI to understand your request. So I want to create two polygons. I wanted to try to find only the tiled area. Let's see if it works. Yes, I select two, and I'm trying to run this tool on two. Here it excluded the area. I don't want quick, I want standard. It missed one bathroom, but at 94, yes. The thing that I wanted to show you is that it didn't find just the bathroom, but the tiled area in the bathroom. And it's really convenient because, of course, you can create this polygons with a one-click area. I showed you how. But if you have, like, I don't know, 100 bathrooms in your floor plan, it's going to be really easy to find them this way. So I'm going to rate my results. I'm satisfied with it. It's going to be 5-star. But only thing I wanted to mention here as well is that it's not available by default yet. So if you go to your Creo account and open your workspace, it's not going to be there. It's in demo. So to get access, just let us know. Just, I don't know, drop a message in our built-in chat, letting us know that you want to try this feature out. It's completely free. We just need to give you access. That's all. Just let us know. And you will be able to try it. Let's go back to our presentation. that's what I was trying to explain to you on an example. So we're looking for several similar elements, similar areas, but one area is going to be like 70% similar, the other one is going to be 97% similar. So we can just adjust the result and filter what we don't need. All right, here you can see the charts of our 4 AI features I told you about. You can see from these charts that AutoMeasure 2.0 and Find Similar with AI are new. Their trend is pretty dramatic. One-click area is always stable, and AutoMeasure's trend is a little slightly down, just because we added new tools. So of course the old tool would lost a little. Here's the small comparison of the tools I've shared. I just wanted to point out that they all are based on different models. So for example, AutoMeasure's data set is smaller. It works only for residential floor plans, and it processes the whole drawing, it classifies everything, it names everything. So it's one type of model. Another one is text condition. So the search is based on your text prompt on any drawings and images. One-click area is, yes, segment anything model. So it just uses your click to analyze the surrounding area, and it's always compatible with any drawings and images. And Find Similar with AI is polygon conditioned, and it's 0 shot, so it was not pre-trained. It just understands your request on the spot. It works on the spot, and it also works for any drawings and images. And now that's all. That was all for like AI tools, but there is one important thing I wanted to talk about. Because it's important to turn Takeoff into quantities, and we all want to do it quickly and smoothly. And that's what assembled listed items are for. So it's about assembled list database. In Creo, you can create your own assembled list database to have a storage system for all your future reports. By creating databases according to your needs, for example, to generate cost plan or bills of quantities, you can almost instantly turn your measurements into objects for your reports. Assembled list database consists of 3 levels: properties, items, and assemblies. Let's look closely at them. The base, the smallest bricks of the assembled list database are properties. Properties database is a storage system for the parameters that describe objects such as thickness, volume, rate, total cost, quantity, type, and much more. Properties can be of 5 types: text, number, formula, single select, and breakdown. The next level is items. An item is a combination of properties that define specific aspects such as geometry, material, labor, cost, and more. Items are not like regular parameter, but an aspect of an object. Don't be confused. We'll go over some simple examples, but yes, you create items using different combinations of properties, and then you can apply items to your measurements to get values from those measurements. And the highest level is assemblies. An assembly is a group of related items that work together from a complete part of building or structure. So it's an object to work with. And let's take a look at the real database. Here. Thanks to my colleague, I have a database for flooring trade here. So now we are at Properties tab. Here we have a few groups. So the properties are grouped for added convenience, because when you create items, you can use not just single properties, but whole groups. So it's just easier and quicker. We have classification system, estimating data, geometry, ratios, and everything. You can see that there are properties of all types, formulas, numbers, breakdown, single select, and everything. Some of them are pretty simple. For example, rate here or unit here. Some of them are more complex. For example, the description here is a formula that includes other properties. For example, here's material. In ratios, we have tile width and tile length. So it consists of other properties. So it's a little bit more complex. And then we go to items and we build items from our properties. So for example, my favorite, tiling, and let's open vanilla tile, for example. Here we can see that we used our group classification system, estimating data, and ratios. So we use different values of properties and their different combination of properties to build the items you need. For example, vanilla tile, the rate is 23, glass tile is going to be 55, and they will have some other differences. So with the help of properties, you can build any items. And then with the help of items, you can build assemblies. Assembly is usually the object you want to you estimate, you work with. So if we're talking about tile, for example, it's going to be vanilla tile. Here we can see that it's tile installation, underlayment, and vanilla tile. We can see them here. We opened tiling, we opened, here's tile installation. So we build assemblies using items. And that's what we need to build a report. It's the database is always there. You can always use it for reports, and you can also create templates for your future project. So you will always have everything organized already. Let's look at the template. I created a few measurements here already, not to waste our time. So that's the template. You can create your own custom templates. You can create a lot of them. You can use only one. You can work without templates. That's your decision. And if you're interested, for example, in this particular template, we'll be happy to share it with you. Just let us know, and we will give you access to this template. So here we have different floor finishes, tile, concrete. Concrete is our hallway, our bathrooms, bedrooms, and we can add, for example, hardwood, our kitchen, living, dining. We select hardwood group, one-click area, and just create everything here. And it will be saved in a hardwood group because I've chosen it already. Create, and here. Now, for example, we have pretty all the areas measured, and we have in the template, we have a report template as well. Our labor, material, floor finishes, we can see that because these groups, they already have items applied to them. So when we build a report, we already have all the measurement presented here. So with all the quantities, rates, and everything. And of course, we can export the report. We can do it export. Fortunately, I will need to change my screen to do that, just because I will not be able to show you the report because I'm only sharing this. I will stop sharing for a moment. Give me just a moment to open. I just want to show you how it looks like because it looks fine. Here it is. One moment, I'm going to share it with you. Here it is. I believe you should see my the report, the estimate I exported. Here you have all the rates and everything you need. So it was just a template. And we will be going back to our presentation for a moment. You should see it already. And yes, the next part is a little part about our plans because we never stop adding new features. So the first one is your personal dataset. It will be able to create a dataset for your specific project, so the AI can learn and give you better results for your particular case. It's not about having a huge database with hundreds of thousands of elements. It's not necessary, no. For example, you can, if your project has about like 30 pages, you can use just 2 or 3 pages to show the AI what to focus on and how you want it to work. So with the other 27 or 28 pages, the AI will understand your project better and give you more accurate results. We're also planning to release a feature called Rename with AI. Right now, as you have noticed, only AutoMeasure gives names to measurements like automatically and classifies them. And for example, AutoMeasure 2.0 doesn't. So when you looking for space, it's only like create some polygons without classifying and naming them. So you can find all the spaces, but they won't have names like in AutoMeasure 2.0 right now. They don't have names based on the type of the area, but with Rename with the AI tool, you will be able to do that. It will come in handy in this case. You just run it, and it processes the text on your drawing to give names to areas based on what they are, like bathroom, bedroom, and so on. As the result, you have all your measurements named automatically. It will look like that. And the last thing I want to mention today is the planned improvements in how the measurements are built. We're looking into offering more options like measurements including doorways or building measurements based on center lines. This option, they would cover more use cases and provide additional value depending on the needs of your project. So that's what we're planning in the nearest future. I don't think. So we have 1 minute left. So thank you very much for joining the webinar. Like if you haven't had access, like if you haven't used Creo before, you're welcome to use our 7-day free online webinar. It's absolutely free. You have 7 days for everything. So you're very much welcome. You're very much welcome to contact us, to ask all the questions, share your drawings, everything. We are ready to help you and answer. So thank you very much for joining. And it was a pleasure sharing it with you. And I hope to see you in Creo. Thank you and bye-bye.